Take a moment with your knees bent, feeling everything settle. So hips, back of neck, lower back, feet, ribs, arms. Good. Extend your legs just for a breath or two. Bend your knees again. Okay, so taking feet just a little bit further apart, a little bit wider than hip distance, and slow little tip. I'm going to tip to the left. So both knees tip to the left, head also tipping to the left. Nice and slow, feeling again with the heaviness of the right foot, what's happening into that front right hip, right thigh, lower back, outer waist, and then slowly, slowly roll back to center. And knees slowly to the right, head to the right. Again, a little weight down into that left foot, but feeling what's happening in that front thigh, front hip, lower back. Nice full breaths. And slow, slow, slow back to center. Slow across center. First side again, and going again really slow just to feel the weight on the tissues, having that kind of heavy roll of the body against the floor. Again, that weight in the right foot, right thigh, front hip. Notice what's happening, lower back, sacrum, outer hips. And slowly, slowly through center. And slowly to the right. Good. Left thigh, front hip, lower back, outer waist. And then slowly, slowly back to center. Good. So again, a little anterior, posterior tilt and slow, slow. So you're rolling towards the bottom of the sacrum, towards the sitting bones. Right, the weight of the body connecting to the floor. Right, maybe noticing, again, nice slow roll up. It's like rolling dough out, super slow, right? You get the rolling pin and you roll in one direction, then the other, but slow. So there's time, again, for the tissue to adapt. To even find the awareness of, right, which side has more suppleness or more confusion. And sometimes just going slow helps them to entrain the more integrated side and forming the maybe other side. And coming back to center, just pausing. Let's extend the legs, just for a breath. Good, and bending knees. Again, nice and slow. So heavy pelvis, so the tailbone and the upper sacrum equally heavy. And I'm just going to again turn the tailbone towards the right sitting bone. So the sacrum will, I guess, tip or rotate, right? The top of the sacrum will move up on one side and down on the other side. So you get a little hip hike. Again, can be quite subtle. And I'm not looking for range of motion or end range of motion. I'm looking for, what does it feel like? What is the tissue quality? How does it move? How smooth can it move? Is it grippy or zingy or grabby? Slow it down. Slowly through center and to the other side. Right? It's really an assessment and a rebalancing all at the same time. The slowness helps you listen, helps the body listen, helps the body reorganize. Slowly through center and other side. Good, and slowly back to center and pause. Let everything get heavy, and again, let's extend the legs. And bending knees. Pressing into that right foot. Right, just enough. Again, slow, slow, slow. So you feel the foot move towards the right toes. The thigh will lift a little. The pelvis will lift just off the floor. And the weight will just pour onto that left hip. And then heavy, heavy roll back onto the back of the pelvis. Put a little weight into that left foot. Again, slow enough so you feel the knee move towards the toes, the thigh lift, the hip lift, the weight just pour to the right hip, right? Rotating the pelvis to the right. And then slowly roll back onto the back of the pelvis. Right foot presses, thigh lifts, pelvis lifts, pour to the left. Slow, heavy roll back to center, other side. Again, slowing it down, just letting the body refocus. One more time on your own, each side. What do you feel? What do you notice? Can you feel the tissue start to adapt? And then center, pause. Again, extend the legs. Good, bending your knees. Let's take the right ankle onto the left thigh. And again, a little cat-cow, little anterior, posterior tilt, really slow. Slow it down. Right. Feeling the movement, right? So now one leg is doing something totally different than the other. So what happens when you roll down? What happens when you roll up? What happens on each side? What happens with your breath or your effort? or resistance. And come back to center. It's again, we're gonna do a little hip hike, little tail wag, super slow tail wag. So tailbone moving over to the right sitting bone. You'll feel one side of the pelvis drop, one side lift. Slowly back through center and other side. You might notice, is one side more, one side easier, and how does that hip joint feel of the bent leg or the leg that's in a figure 4? And coming back to center, and let's press into that left foot. Again, nice and slow so you feel, again, the toes or the knee move towards the toes, the thigh lift, the pelvis lift, and I'm just rolling onto that right glute. And then I'm going to roll back onto the back of the pelvis. And one more time, I'm going to roll onto that right glute, so pressing into that left foot and just staying heavy on that right glute. And teeny tiny cat-cow here, tipped onto one side. Teeny tiny. Looking for the ease, looking for the movement. Pause, maybe a little swinging the tailbone to one side, other side. Right down and into that right buttocks, and then up and out to the left. Small, slow. And pause, roll back onto that, the back of the pelvis. Good. Extend left leg, extend right leg. Good. Bending your knees. Left ankle, right thigh, just above the knee. Again, anterior tilt, posterior tilt, nice and slow. Again, tracking. What does the posterior tilt feel like? What does the anterior tilt feel like? What does the right side feel like? What's happening? What's happening on the left side? How are the two sides moving differently or similarly? How is that impacting the left leg? Pause. Let's do a little tailbone to the left. Tailbone to the right. Again, how's it impacting the tissue around the sacrum, the lower spine, the left hip, groin, the right leg? And pause. Pressing into that right foot. Again, little movement of knee towards toes, thigh lifts, pelvis lifts. Just rocking onto that left glute. And beneath the glute is our lateral rotators, and either within the rotators or beneath is our sciatic nerve. And slow roll back onto the back of the pelvis. And then again, a slow tip onto that left buttock, left back pocket. tipped on your side onto that left hip. And again, teeny tiny movement, anterior, posterior tilt. How is the tissue moving on one side or both sides? What does the anterior tilt feel like, or the posterior? Pause. Let's little tailbone wag to the left, down and into the left buttocks, and then up and to the right sitting bone. Simple and small breath. And then rolling onto the back of the pelvis. Good. Extending both legs.